Hello, I'm Shane Seeley, and you know what time it is. It's time for Final Score, our weekly sports show where we'll talk all about the headlines and news makers of the week in sports. Tonight, well, the focus is on the FIFA World Cup. That begins on Sunday. Who are your favorites? You can tell us, and we'll tell you a bit later on how you can chime in. But can France be the first country to repeat as champions since Brazil did it back in 1962? We'll tackle some of those talking points. Also, we have to talk about cricket as well. The Windies are down under after all, preparing for the first test against Australia. Shamar Brooks, well, he opened the batting in the practice match with the skipper. And will he be opening in that first test as well? Or will Tej Narayan Chandapal get the opportunity to open up with Craig Brathwaite? We'll find out. We'll talk about that as well. But first, let's focus on the FIFA World Cup, where it all happens on Sunday, where France are in Qatar to defend their title. Some say it's a depleted France without Paul Pogba and Conte, but France still has pretty much of a bomb squad there. The opening fixture will see the host Qatar take on Ecuador. But there are other talking points as well. It's the final World Cup for two legends in Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And we'll make an educated guess about who's likely to win it all. Who will lift the World Cup? Joining me is sports analyst Anmar Goodridge. Good to have you on. Of course, you, our viewers, you can make your contributions here as well and answer your questions via social media on WhatsApp, the number 228-5562. While on Facebook, the handles are CBC Barbados or CBC News.bb. You can also call us live. 228-5562 is the number. Anmar, good to have you on. Of course, Anmar has another title as well. He's with the BFA right now, right? You're the communication specialist for them.
Yeah, good night, Shane. Thank you so much. And you are definitely correct. The Media and Communications Officer for the Barbados Football Association.
Well, congrats on taking up that post. Good to have you there. Hopefully we can see some development in Barbados football. But let's go to the big boys in the World Cup. And France, let's start there. They're the defending champions. They're missing a few players. Can they repeat? Do you think that they have what it takes to repeat with an informed Benzema, of course, Mbappe and friends?
France, definitely one of the favorites in my opinion, Shane. Obviously, you mentioned the point of not having Paul Pogba and Kante, two influential for France in the 2018 World Cup win. Pogba winning it, Kante as well. But I think France can do the job. They won't be my favorites in terms of winning, but definitely we can't rule out France. Karim Benzema, we've seen what he would have been able to do for his club, Real Madrid. He's won the Ballon d'Or. And informed Karim Benzema. They also have Dembele and Antonio Griezmann. France still has a very good team, a very good unit. They also have Rafael Varane from Manchester United. He's been struggling with some injuries leading up to the World Cup, but definitely France is one of the 4 or 5 teams that I believe can definitely win the World Cup.
And they have a good backroom staff as well. I was just wondering when Zidane would join as head coach, but that's not happening just yet. But let's look at the group. They're in Group D. France, they'll be taking on Australia, Denmark also in the group, and Tunisia as well, Group D. So that should be a pretty easy group for them to advance out of as the number 1 team.
Yeah, easy group if I'm looking at it as well. Australia, Denmark, Tunisia. I think Denmark will come second. I have France to win this group, but there's a history behind it, Shane. And we know normally the team who won the World Cup previously normally does not do very well and doesn't really advance. If you look at 2010, Spain, they won in 2010. 2014 failed to get out of the group. And then 2014, we saw a similar situation as well. So I think France will have to look out. They are in a very favorable group. Australia, not really world champions, not really dominators in world football. So I think France will definitely have an easy pathway to the round of 16. So it may be a case now where France would kind of break that rig for some of the teams who would have won the World Cup and then failed to get out of the group and then failed to get on to the quarterfinals and the semifinal.
Yeah, we'll focus on Australia when we talk about cricket. Let's talk about your favorite team now, Anmar, and probably one of Barbados's favorite teams. We speak English, we like England, we like EPL. A lot of English fans probably watching tonight. Talk about your England side and why do you like this team so bad? A team that I really think they never have the teeth, that killer instinct needed to win anything. And they've shown it on the European stage and in World Cups.
If we look at England, Shane, we are talking about a team who've been to the Euro finals. They failed at that point. They've also been to the semi-finals of the last World Cup, losing to Croatia. So I think England, in my opinion, they start as dark horses for this competition. I would definitely not sit here and say that England is one of my favorites. If we look at the composition of the England team, Harry Maguire is one of the most questionable selections, in my opinion. He's not been doing well for Manchester United. Can't get into the starting 11. But yet, Gareth Southgate sees him as a beneficiary to his team. So that's a very questionable inclusion. Gareth Southgate will obviously be getting a bit of a stink too for not selecting Ivan Toney, the Brentford striker. But he scored a lot of goals, been a talisman for Brentford, scoring versus Manchester City, ironically, as the England team was announced. So I think England, we have a good chance, I think, of making it perhaps to the quarterfinals, semi-finals. I think that will round up a good competition for us. Obviously, me as an England fan, hoping that we can win and rely on Harry Kane. If we're talking about Harry Kane, he is the man that won the last Golden Boot.
Another
He's the man that won the last. He won the last.
Don't get me started on Harry Kane.
He won the last Golden Boot. I'm scoring 6 goals, so he'll be hoping to
scoring
repeat.
goals in all the games that don't matter.
I'll tell you what, too, Shane. He's only 2 to 3 goals behind Wayne Rooney as the England all-time goal scorer. So I think that he has something to prove at this World Cup. The likes of Raheem Sterling as well. Saka from Arsenal. You're an Arsenal fan, Shane.
Yeah, but you call Raheem Sterling first. He's another big failure for me. But you know what? We'll talk a bit more about that. Look at the group and some of the other teams. Of course, we got to talk about Messi's Argentina and Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, and then every Barbadian's favorite, Brazil. So we'll come back to talk a bit about all of those teams and their groups and a whole lot more right here on Final Score. Back with you on Final Score. We have Anmar Goodridge on. He's our football analyst and all things sport really tonight. So we spoke about England just now. Of course, they're in a group which I think could be a group of death for them. I mean, Iran is in the group, but you also have Wales and another informed side in there as well. You really got to hope that England get out of the group, Anmar.
Yeah, definitely, Shane. I think we will do okay. I think we're going to top this group as well. If you look at USA, they have some good players as well. USA have been improving on the world football stage for quite a while. They have Christian Pulisic from Chelsea. I think if he has a good World Cup, USA can go deep into this competition as well. But he will definitely be the main man for the United States. And then if you look at Wales, Gareth Bale, a player who shone brilliantly at Tottenham Hotspur. Well, he played in the English Premier League. He did well as well for Real Madrid when he moved to Spain. And I think at this point in the time of his career, definitely not reaching those high heights that we've seen in the previous World Cups and previous times playing. But I think if we look at Wales, Gareth Bale will definitely be one of the players to watch. So I think it's definitely going to be a good group. But my money is still on England to top the group, and maybe I think it's a toss-up between USA and Wales, and I'm going to go with USA.
All right, well, we will watch and see what happens there. Let's go to Barbados' favorite team, Brazil. Brazil they always have a decent team. Of course, Neymar leading the side into another World Cup. They have had some underachievements over the last few years. One of the worst performances was when they played at home in Brazil when Germany hammered them. What do you think are Brazil's chances in this 2022 World Cup in Qatar?
Barbados supports Brazil, Shane, and I think Brazil are the clear-cut favorites to lift the trophy when the competition finishes. If we look at the Brazil team, he's not that attractive player. He's not a player that you'll go to pay a lot of big money to see, but he gets the job done, and that's important. Casemiro as well, one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world. So I think those two players will be very important in terms of breaking up play and ensuring that star-studded firepower Brazil attack can get going.
We had two WhatsApp comments there. This one I agree with. England cannot win. Thank you for that comment. But the other one was Brazil, basically that Brazil will not win either, and that Argentina are on a good run and they could win as well. Another comment here, Brazil are overrated. Yes, I agree. I'm liking these comments here. France and Brazil are the two strongest sides in the World Cup. You might agree with that, Amar.
Yeah, I think Argentina is one of the strongest teams as well. Actually, I think that it may be a Copa America final between Argentina and Brazil. Lionel Messi has a lot to prove as well. He went to the 2014 World Cup, and I think, in my opinion, that was his best chance at that stage to win the World Cup. Been to the final, he hit a shot that hit the crossbar, and then obviously Germany won it from them. So I think Lionel Messi, this is his time. He's 35 years old. You mentioned earlier, Shane, this is his final chance to win the biggest trophy in world football, and I think he will definitely be trying to win this World Cup and go one on Ronaldo. I think whoever wins this World Cup, whether it's Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, that's all. I think whichever player can put their hands on the trophy this time around, I think it will end the debate on who's the best player in the world right now.
Right now, Messi has the edge. Of course, he would have won that Copa America title and had 2 second places as well, back to back. So all finals for Argentina.
Nobody comes second place, Shane. Nobody comes second place.
I know, but still.
And Ronaldo also has the Euros as well.
Where he was injured. He went off the field early in that match. I really can't give it to him for that. And plus, the consistency is what I like to see. I believe anything that you do, you're consistent. The more consistent player should get the better rating. But speaking about Cristiano Ronaldo, it's his final World Cup as well. How's
Yeah.
Portugal looking?
Yeah, Portugal are looking a good team. They have Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes as well. But I think Ronaldo, this World Cup for Ronaldo is a very interesting one, Shane. And obviously, you would know this. He's been in the headlines recently for all the wrong reasons, coming out recently in an interview with Piers Morgan, criticizing the Manchester United manager, Eric Ten Hag, criticizing the Glazer family, the ownership of Manchester United. So I think this is a World Cup where he will be under the microscope. He likes this stuff though. If we know him, he's a showman. He's a type of player who likes and gravitates to all of the attention. So I think he will have a big point to prove in terms of this World Cup. And I think he'll be trying definitely his hardest this time around to take Portugal as deep into the competition as possible.
Well, I'll say this. Argentina is my side. Lionel Messi is my man. But Ronaldo, he's a very, very hard-working footballer. Probably one of the hardest-working footballers on the planet. So a lot to talk about. Let's look at the groups very quickly in terms of Argentina and Portugal's chances for coming out of the group. It's looking like Portugal may have a harder task in their group. They're coming up against Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea is always a strong, underrated team as well. That could be considered another group of death. Argentina, they have Saudi Arabia. Mexico is a strong side. Poland, a strong side as well. That's a tough group.
Yeah, I think Argentina's group is tough as well, but I have to agree with you that Group H, with Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea, I think that is the harder of the two. If we look at, I believe that Portugal and maybe Ghana, I'm rooting for an African nation team to advance. I think Ghana will be the team to go ahead in this group, so I'm going to go with Portugal and Ghana. If you look at Group C, C is a bit tricky though, Shane. You're an Argentina fan, but it's a bit tricky for you, and I'll tell you why. I think Saudi Arabia is out of the question. We have to look at Mexico, the CONCACAF powerhouses, and Poland. Poland, they have a gentleman by the name of Robert Lewandowski, and Robert Lewandowski, he is a goal-scoring machine. And I think if Lewandowski can get going for Poland, I think they're going to cause a lot of trouble in that group as well. So I don't think that the course to the round of 16 is as clear as you think for your team, Shane.
Well, listen, I think Argentina will definitely win that group with ease. And you talk about Poland, yes, Lewandowski, he's a goal-scoring machine in club football. He needs a bit more support from the middle on the international level. But he's there, and you don't know on the day what can happen. Argentina, I don't think they're letting go of this one. They're doing it for Messi. All right, so Anmar, pick a winner. Who will win the FIFA World Cup?
It's a tough one, Shane. I have 4 teams who I think will make the semifinal: Brazil, Argentina, Belgium, and England. And I think I'm going to go with Brazil. I think Brazil will win this one. It's hard to go against them, Shane. If you're looking on paper, the star-studded team that they have, the likes of Neymar, Vinicius Jr., Richarlison, Anthony from Manchester United. I think this is Brazil's World Cup to lose. I think this is Brazil's World Cup to lose.
And something else too. No France in there. You really discounted Germany. Not a mention of Germany. Of course, multiple World Cup winners on the same number of World Cups as Brazil too. Listen, this World Cup will be very interesting. Still a lot more to talk about, and of course we're following all the action right here on TV8. Damien Best will be leading the charge with our World Cup show, so we'll tell you a bit more about that right here on the Final Score. But next, we'll focus on some cricket, Anmar. We're going to look at the Pride's performances in the Super 50 Cup, and then later on the West Indies 11 for the first test against the West Indies. Who will make that 11? Well, we will try to pick some of those players right here on the Final Score. 29, Shamar Brooks scoring a half-century in the ongoing opening tour match while opening the batting. He's now likely to partner with Craig Brathwaite over Chanderpaul. Australian pitches are traditionally similar to the Caribbean, maybe a bit faster and bouncier though. Will our batters stand up to the Aussies' pace attack? They do have a good attack. Mitch Stark and of course Cummins in there as well, Pat Cummins. Do we have the firepower to force a result by dismissing Australia twice with the likes of Marnus Labuschagne, Smith getting back in form, David Warner as well? Who will the Windies have to depend on batting and bowling besides Craig Brathwaite, Kemar Roach and Alzarri Joseph? Anmar, let's talk some cricket now. This tour match, they racked up a good few half-centuries. We even saw Jason Holder getting in the runs as well. What do you think about the test team going into this Australia series?
Well, let me first start by saying how happy I'm, Shane, to see the likes of Shamar Brooks and Roston Chase back into the West Indies setup. Brooks wasn't in the last test squad, so I mean, I'm happy to see him back there as a Barbadian, and Chase as well. Haven't been in and around the team. Actually, was a very surprise selection in many bookies' books in terms of the team, so I'm happy to see them. I think the West Indies could do well, Shane. Obviously, playing against Australia is always a tough team. Australia, one of the best test teams in world cricket. You mentioned the likes of Warner, Smith, Labuschagne, Pat Cummins and Stark in terms of their bowling attack. But I think it's important for the West Indies to stand up and bat. If you look at the West Indies record this year, though, they've done well, predominantly in red ball cricket. They've beaten England 1-0 in the Caribbean here. Obviously, Calmeers started the show in that last test match. We've seen the likes of Jermaine Blackwood too getting centuries. Also, Craig Brathwaite as well. I think it's important, though, for the all-rounders, people like Jason Holder, people like Mears as well, to stand up and play good innings. I think that would be crucial in terms of West Indies getting any results. Kemar Roach as well is the leader of the attack. I think a lot will be on him to deliver. And, you know, young Jaden Seals, he's very promising. He's shown that he's a very good talent, one for the future as well. So I think these players, it has to be a collective effort, Shane. No one player will be able to do it on their own. So I think the West Indies will have to come together and put their hands up and play cricket if they're going to beat Australia, a very, very, very good Australia team as well.
Well, listen, let me tell you, looking at the scores in this, yes, it's a warm-up match. The guys may not be giving it their all. In response to what the Windies would have put on the board, 424 for 9 declared, this Australian 11, they've racked up 332 for 2 with 335 for 2 because it's ongoing right now, and with 2 centuries, one by the opener Blake McDonald and then Oliver Davies. They wouldn't even feature in that Australian test side, racking up centuries in quick time, I might add, in this match. Do you think, we were saying coming into this series, the bowling unit has really picked up the slack?
Yeah.
This will be a real test for them going against the same, as we said, some real top Aussie batting in Labuschagne and Smith, two batsmen with well above 50 averages in Test cricket.
It'll be interesting to see the selection of the team, Shane, if we're going to go with a 4-pound bowling attack, if we're going to go with the likes of Kemar Roach, Jaden Seal, Jason Holder, or even if Anderson Phillip may get a look in.
You got to put Alzarri in there as well.
And of course, Alzarri Joseph. There are a lot of complaints about Alzarri, though. They say that he doesn't take enough wickets. But in terms of his bowling, I think he's very accurate. And I think that he can get the job done as well. But Kemar Roach, he's the veteran in there. I think he will be the leader of our attack, that he's shown time and time again that he can get the job done. Obviously, he's lost his pace, obviously at 33, 34 in his career. He's getting down in terms of age, but obviously not in terms of performance, because he's shown time and time again that when the West Indies bat is against the wall, that Kemar Roach is the type of player that can deliver. And Jaden Seals, on contrast, he's young, energetic, and he'll be fired up to play against Australia.
We have a call. Let's go to the phone lines. Good night, caller. Welcome to Final Score. What's your question or comment?
You're on the panel, sorry, then getting on the football. Australia is going to pile on the runs and beat West Indies within 3 days. You're not ready to test match go 5 days. It is Australia back about 3 days.
I really don't want that to be a reality. When you look at what's stacked up against us and playing in Australia as well, you would expect that. But this test team has shown so much promise. We beat England here at home again. You know what we did against Bangladesh. The only little blip that we had is when South Africa, when they came to the region and their fast bowlers blew away the West Indies top order on a couple occasions. I mean, can the batting stand up and can the bowling unit do what they need to do? The batting looks encouraging, though. My only question mark will be around the Jamaican in there, and he's not scoring any runs. And Nkrumah Bonner, my concerns are really around him. And where do you put who in this lineup? Give me your batting order there, Amar.
I think that Chanderpaul will open with Craig Brathwaite. I think
You think
Shamar
Chanderpaul
Brooks
will
may have.
open
Yeah,
with Craig Brathwaite?
I think the West Indies selectors may try to a bit of an experiment and try Chanderpaul. I mean, he's shown in terms of his cricket that he's ready. He's been given the opportunity. They've selected him, and I think that he will be given the opportunity to open the batting with Craig Brathwaite. Craig Brathwaite, he's always solid in terms of not trying to give away his wicket. He will stand up and bat. We've seen it time and time again.
But that's
Craig
the
Brathwaite,
problem right there, Amar. You're gonna
stand up
put
and bat.
two pokers at the top.
He will poke away. Maybe if an early wicket.
I'm talking about with Chanderpaul as well. Another one.
Yeah. I think they'll go with him. So you think that they'll go with Brooks? I think I like Brooks as number 3, number 4.
They didn't play Chanderpaul. They didn't play him. So they didn't play him. So I'm thinking that you will open with the guy that you played and he made some runs as well. So you open with Craig and Brooks. So you give me from 3 down, and there is another tour match as well. So we will see what happens there.
And then I think you mentioned Nkrumah Bonner, but if we look at Test cricket, Shane, in terms of temperament, Nkrumah Bonner, he has the temperament, he has the patience.
Definitely.
He's willing and he's prepared to stand up there and occupy the crease, and he's shown time and time again that he's the type of player he will not give away his wicket so easily. He doesn't play any foolish shots, really. Almost a near perfect or measured approach to batting and spending long hours at the crease. I think then we'll go with Kyle Mears has to play, in my opinion. Kyle Mears is one of the stand-up players in world cricket. We're talking about all formats, whether it's the white ball, whether it's the red ball. Kyle Mears has to play in there. Jason Holder, he has to play as well. Then it's a matter then if we play Roston Chase. I'd like to see Roston Chase play, but he has not been predominantly in a lot of good form. And then I think my bowlers will have to be Roach. I'm going to go with Roach, Joseph, Seals. Yeah, Roach, Joseph, and Seals. And then Jason Holder has to play a bit of a role in terms of the bowling as well.
And in terms of the keepers now, Joshua De Silva must play, but Devon Thomas, well, he is looking pretty good. He scored some runs as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to go back with Joshua Silva, though. I don't think that anyone has really done anything to displace Joshua Silva in terms of his place in the West Indies team. If you look at the last couple of series, he did score a century too as well this year. So I think Joshua Silva, his place. I mean, it's okay to call for a player to be removed from the West Indies team, but I think you're going to have a better solution then and bring pointers and facts to support that argument. And I think at this moment, I don't think that Joshua Silva has done anything to lose his place in the West Indies team.
All right, I really thank you for spending some time with us on Final Score. All the best to you as we watch World Cup, and we know that you'll be back to during our World Cup show. But until then, you be safe, man. You be good.
Thank you so much, Shane. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. When we come back, our Final 60. In our final 60, a reminder that the FIFA World Cup gets going on Sunday with Qatar taking on Ecuador in the opening fixture live right here on TV8. Every night, TV8 will also have a live review show, Matchday Live from the 246. Damien Best is in charge with this Sunday show at 9 p.m., but it will air at 8:30 p.m. all other days, so you know what time to tune in. That means Final Score will be off air for a month or so as we give way every Friday night to Match Day Live for the duration of the World Cup. So on behalf of the team, I'm Shane Seeley, and it's good night until then.